I think today has restored my faith in people a little bit. I needed to get my general checkup done, but nor me or my mother were informed that I was also meant to get my blood drawn, and as a result, I ended up coming in late. So I had to run in a day later to get stabbed and leave. I came in pretty early because my mom dropped me off on her way to work, so I was waiting for a bit, and this lady and her son also showed up at the door. I guess they were there for the same reason as me. Literally no sane person gets there that early for a cough. So the nurse shows up and lets us in. By the way, I've been going to this GP since I was little, so we know each other pretty well. She brings me into the office, sits me down in the chair of doom, and I immediately swivel my head away from my arm. I am not too squeamish when it comes to blood, but I don't like needles or anything going under my skin, so I won't faint or toss the breakfast that I didn't have, but I will actively avoid looking or talking about it above it's uncomfortable. And throughout this entire thing, the office door is open. I can see the lady in the waiting room with her son. I mean, there was just the four of us, so I didn't really care. Anyway, I'm sitting there and this big sigh comes out of me as I am preparing myself, and as I am answering the nurse that I am fine and that I just don't fancy needles, the lady goes, "You're okay, it'll be quick, you will barely notice it." And as the nurse was taping the cotton swab on my arm, she said, "See? You're done already." Just being a full cheerleader in that moment. After that, I started putting on my jacket, but I was struggling with it a little bit because the cotton swab on my arm and I didn't want to rip it off. Meanwhile, the lady comes in and immediately goes to help me put on my jacket. And as I'm leaving and the nurse is telling me that I can sit in the waiting room for a bit if I feel like a little bit sick, she's rummaging through a bag and she pulls out this tiny little wrap thing of chocolate and tells me to eat it when I go out. That was probably the most motherly interaction I've ever had with a stranger in my life. Anyway, I guess this is just a tiny reminder that there are good people out there hiding in the cracks and random doctor's offices, apparently. Also, for the children, don't take candy from strangers. This was a very specific situation and there is more context that I cannot fit in here. Okay? Okay, bye.